Look at that view, guys. Beautiful. Still in Mazunte. And we have today a very special also guest, you can say, that is sitting right here. He's Talia. And a very special chapter. Because, yeah, I'm coming to the camera. Because I think like I wanted to do this chapter for a long time. And yeah, I feel like this is the accurate time to do that. Let me baby just take the camera like that. And the reason that I do that, it's also I think like this time that we have in a very dense energy around the world with the wars that going on and everything. I feel like humanity really needs healing, and definitely what we are going to talk about today, it's kind of healing to men and women. I think mostly for men, but but also for a lot of women. And the topic of today, it's basically about masturbation and porn. I think it's a topic that a lot of you have a lot of questions about it, and a lot of you are struggling with it. So Talia, you want like to say what you are doing basically? What is your profession?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on here, Shai. It's a pleasure to connect and to connect with all of you.
Just something small before you start, a little bit of voice, and try to talk because the mic is here, so we need to like have the volume a little bit over.
Beautiful. So my name is Talia, and I specialize in Tantra massage. So this is a very powerful and potent healing modality, which many could call an alternative modality, which is basically a massage, but it's a full body massage which is aimed to touch way beyond the body into the energetic layers of the being and ultimately into the soul. So it is both a physical, emotionally healing and spiritual practice that, from my over 6+ years of experience, has proven to awaken incredible energies in people, heal like a lifetime of trauma, ancestral trauma, and as well support people in awakening to their orgasmic pleasure, to their sexuality. And when I say orgasmic pleasure, I'm not talking about ejaculation here. I'm talking about the energetic experience of orgasm, which is not necessarily located in your genitals per se, but in a full body experience. And this is very different from what we're programmed as a society to understand what is sexuality and how can we work with it. So yeah,
I will take it here to me a little bit, to my own experience, because let me be open about it. I think like most of my users even will be most of my followers will be even a little bit surprised about me exposing these things, but I'm here really to help. So I will share my own experience, because before I met Talia and I had this experience of the tantric massage, I was masturbating maybe 2 times a day, around 2 times a day, sometimes more, most of the time not less than that. Watch porn, and then I met Talia. Here I went to this experience called tantric massage that I didn't have so much clue about what is tantra. I have it like very general, and I didn't do any down drill to really explore and understand what is tantra. And then a friend of mine from Israel knew that I was here. She knows Talia really good. Her name is Didi Diana, that I really love. And she told me, you have to go to that tantric massage with Talia. You have to have this life-changing experience. And I said like, okay, I will do it. Like, you told me it's a life-changing experience. Let's just go and do it. And since I was finishing the massage, or that the massage was over, I went to my home, and suddenly I don't have the urge or the need to masturbate. I don't have the urge or the need to watch porn. And maybe Talia, you can tell me a little bit about what you did in that process, or what you do in general in this process, that this energy is not as it used to be in the past.
Yeah, so this is a profound transformation, which was an honor to witness and guide you through. So Tantra comes with a lot of misconceptions around what it really is, and it's often reduced to a sexual act of some sort, which it is completely not. It's an ancient spiritual path that's really here to help us actualize ourselves and elevate spiritually. So there's a process called sublimation, which is internal alchemy. And where can I start with this? Basically, most humans are operating on the base chakra, the root chakra, which is also what we're seeing in the world right now. You referred to like the war that's happening. This is very like primal, basic, instinctual energy, right? Like anger, violence, but also this like primal sexual energy, which is beautiful in itself, but it's very basic.
Like
and
the hunter mode, the hunting mode?
yeah, like hunter, survival, primal, which is beautiful, but there's so much more for us to experience. So there's many different levels of consciousness within the human energy body. And so Tantra massage is a tool to alchemize this energy, to elevate really every area of your life, to elevate your emotions, to elevate you spiritually, and to help you master your life. Because as you master your sexual energy, instead of being like acting on just this impulse, there's never really a deep fulfillment that comes from that, right? It's just this like repetitive pattern of hunter getting your prey, and then it starts again and again and again, and it's kind of this like chasing this momentary pleasure in a self-gratification world. And there's just so much more to that can leave us like feeling deeply fulfilled.
I feel, for example, since my tantric massage, and that the need or the urge to feel orgasm in a way that I used to feel, or to ejaculate in the way that I needed to feel, when it's not there, suddenly even sex is changing in the way I think of sex, in the way I thinking to connect with women, and the whole process doesn't have the goal of ejaculating, and you more concentrate on the journey itself.
Yes.
And that is so beautiful, you know? Like for me, I feel like, wow, it changed me in a way also that I feel around very attractive women. Because I think like, and mostly guys here, you will, because I think I will also bring data, because I think like we heard a podcast in Ciudad de Oaxaca about a lot of men today that they did a research that a lot of men until the age of 30, we're talking about around 80-70% in the United States, are not having sex until age of 30. This is a very, let's say, bad thing in my perception, because they are not able to feel comfortable near women, they are not able to communicate with women, and they are probably masturbate or watch porn a lot, and they are frustrated in a way. The other side, we see also decrease of women having sex, but still we're talking about much less than men. We're talking about around maybe 26% of women are not having sex until age of 30. So it means like much less men on a much more women. So basically much less competition for a lot of men. But I think the thing is like something need to change in the energy, like you said.
In our relationship too, the way we engage intimately and sexually with ourselves and with another. And what you just said about like being in it for the journey. Yes, yes, yes. This is like one of the key pieces in Tantra and tantric sexuality.
Just maybe a little bit, yeah, just yeah, that they can hear you. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
it's really about releasing the goal, and this is contrary to everything that we've been taught about sexuality, right? Most people engage, whether it's watching porn and masturbating or having sex with a partner, and you're doing it to get to the end goal, to the orgasm. And what if that was completely taken out of the equation and you saw it as a journey that you're embarking on? And so this opens the space to discover so much more sensation and much more profound orgasm than just releasing an ejaculation for the man.
What you can tell me about men that basically spreading this energy and taking and drain it out all the time, and also women maybe?
Well, first of all, it makes a man tired. So often it's like used as a stress release. But there is, according to the Taoist tradition, and there are many, many tools to help men retain their semen. So reversing the flow of their ejaculation to actually contain it within your being. So instead of releasing the ejaculation, the semen, which actually contains the life force energy, there's ways to practice to actually cultivate this. And what I've witnessed in my clients and my students is that capacity will make you feel so much more powerful, embodied, confident, and really expand your presence and radiance in the world. So it comes with also many health benefits, as well as everything that I just mentioned. The more we can harness and direct our sexual energy, the more we can also be the co-creators of our reality and direct every area of our life.
And by the way, you told me something that even if a woman have come from a certain place, it's exactly like a man ejaculate, right? Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So this could be a whole other episode, but I'll just touch on it briefly. And so the male ejaculation holds the life force. So it's said that you lose energy every time you ejaculate. And for a woman, the basic clitoral orgasm is also considered what is called an explosive orgasm versus implosive. So implosive for the male would be redirecting the energy upward in his body instead of releasing, and for a woman would mean having a deeper G-spot or vaginal or cervical orgasm, which can create much more profound, intimate, and fulfilling orgasmic and even healing effects.
So I think, like, in a way, guys, think about it. Think about having sex without getting to the goal. How is it sounds to you? Like, because I think, like, especially me, when I was before the tantric massage, usually what I felt when I saw women that I was very attracted to her is something in that place, that area, that a lot of energy here that wants to go out. And suddenly, and also I think, like, I felt like I'm in this hunting mode all the time, that I just searching for the next target. I'm like, and I felt like that I couldn't even work properly, you know, like working means like concentrate on things that I need to do, because I'm on a constant search of like finding my next hunt, my next
like
target.
Being controlled by your sexual energy instead of controlling and directing it.
And I think like most men are like that, right? Like they are controlled by this energy, and you can also feel like you are in a way manipulating women in a way to get there, because this is like what you have in your mind, and you can have such a different, deep, profound connection with women's on a very high level when it's not there. And it's even, I think like
when we're no longer looking to fulfill ourselves through another, but can actually engage in the heart versus approaching someone with your genitals, with this like sexual impulse. That may be something that comes next, but I think, Shai, what we were talking about even earlier is like connecting from the heart space, connecting from a more elevated state of awareness, of consciousness, first takes away a lot of the expectations and subtle energies that might not feel so clear when you're approaching a woman, because those subtle energies and the intention behind what you're doing and where you're connecting from is definitely felt.
And I think, guys, I also want to hear you in the comments. Like, how does it feel for you to approach a woman? How, like, is it difficult for you to approach a woman? What do you feel when you want to approach a woman that you're really attracted to? Like, it makes you nervous. It makes you very excited. That I think when this energy is neutralized in a way and you control it, so this excitement or anxiety are not erupting like it used to be, and then like you can approach a woman and not have anything in your subconscious of maybe having sex. Just approach a woman like a normal person, like you approach a guy, and then you can see that you have a nice conversation, and if it's nice and you want to keep, maybe, I don't know, maybe explore more with each other, so you just communicate it. And this is also something that you taught me, you know, like communicate your needs or your desires with the person that you desire.
With truth and transparency. And great sex comes through authentic connection and intimacy, which is created through that honest truth, authentic relating communication, and that heart-centered connection is what will actually enhance your orgasm and offer you just an overall much more deeply fulfilling experience, because intimacy is really the key to the juiciness of any sexual experience.
So in a way, I feel like my life really changed. Like, I feel that when this energy, the sexual energy, doesn't want, you know, because I felt like sex was like a chase after a dopamine dose that my body produces if it needs to calm down. And I think we talked about it, and I want to really put this subject because it's a really interesting subject. I think like every one of us in a way have this thing that he needs to validate himself. And you know, when we have sex, it's like kind of validation for us to feel good with ourselves. Okay, for me as a man, I feel like I'm man enough, I'm attractive, I can make a woman satisfied. But okay, let me have like this example. Okay, so I have this sex with this woman, and now we have around 1, 2, 3 weeks from that sex, and this feeling of this validation start to decrease with the time. So I'm right now looking for the next target, chase, dopamine dose, basically to calm my system down, because I feel that I'm not like wealthy enough, not wealthy, how it's called, like I'm not attractive anymore, maybe in a way. I'm not man enough right now, because this validation starts to like melt down, and now I need to boost it again.
Chasing this high, chasing
Exactly.
this peak experience versus resensitizing ourselves to really feel deeply, which the world has cut us off of because of the wars, the chaos, the intensity, the pain, the trauma, all the things we don't want to deal with. And the more that we repress and push those parts away, we also end up numbing ourselves, our bodies, our pleasure. And so it requires for us to start really feeling again, you know, the good, the bad, like the pleasurable, the uncomfortable, and really allow ourselves to feel the full spectrum of what it is to be human. And that's where we start to really feel, and where pleasure can start to become more than just a peak experience, but an everyday reality, where pleasure is a moment-to-moment experience.
And I think also, like, in a way, when you release those chase hunt for the validation, and we don't need it, because basically, guys, think about it, like, you're not in a need to ejaculate. You can have this energy that you just projected outside. This is what I felt. This is my own experience. I was like spreading this energy, this sexual energy all around the place, and now suddenly I feel like all this energy is going inside. So I'm feeling so powerful. I didn't know that this energy can be such a powerful when you keep it here and you don't just, I don't know, like having casual sex. But it's, don't get me wrong, it's not bad to have casual sex. But if you do it in a right way, and you don't just do energy exchange just like that with anybody, so yes, it can be empowering And I think like you also learn to do a different sex in a way, at least from my experience, after the tantric massage. I want you like to elaborate on that, because like I think most people doing sex in a wrong way. I mean, I think like 99% of the people.
Right, for validation, for self-gratification. And I think what you're saying is really about consent, making empowered choices by understanding where we're coming from. Okay, there's nothing wrong with, how did you say? Just a casual with a casual encounter. But to be clear and not to be leading another person on with false expectations, or this being led by your ego to be validated by another. But again, come back to this like transparent communication of what are you seeking, and that you can have a profound, intimate, and highly fulfilling encounter, but that comes through also the way that we relate to another partner, instead of creating false hopes and expectations, like letting the other person know where you're at, and if your desires match up and align, then you can both make consensual and empowered choice to connect in this beautiful space of pleasure and intimacy.
And I think like also the sex, because when you don't have this way of, like for example, I will tell you guys, I will give an example that I like had. Since the tantric massage, I was able to attract really women that was in alignment with this tantric practice, and this is a all different sex that I experienced before, because now instead of like I did before sex, make the woman come first and then you basically come, and then you are all satisfied. Okay, I did my job. You can mark the V on your missions. Suddenly, it's not about ejaculation, it's about just empowering, and maybe even having like a breathing technique through the process that help you to empower the other person. And this is for me like something that is totally different.
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary, and I think
Not things that were taught in school. And simple practices that everyone can learn, that are easy to learn, and yet require for us to be vulnerable. And that can be really challenging in the world because of the conditioning, around, men need to be strong, or, as women, we need to people please, or whatever it is, all of these family conditioning. So allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to show ourselves, takes immense courage and strength, and yet that's the space that can dissolve all of your limitations, all of the resistances, and then there's no goal anymore. It's just like a meeting, heart to heart, vulnerable, open, transparent, like what's alive right now. Let's get curious about this moment. And when you can do this with another person, the depths of magic, of beauty, of pleasure, of liberation that we can access is otherworldly.
I think also that something that helped me through this one last month is something that actually I didn't learn from Talia directly, but I was able to practice it in my life because of what happened, because of the tantric massage. That is to love someone without an attachment. And I will elaborate on that a little bit, that you will understand, because I think like in the world of today, we haven't been taught to love correctly people. We've been taught how to love from Hollywood movies, and this concept I think is very wrong, because think about it. When you love someone and you love him really from your heart, you love everything that he does, and you are not trying to change him or something, but remember that what makes him happy makes you happy. But on the other hand, we're talking about like right now, we're taking like, for example, love with attachment. You're just thinking about yourself. If he makes me happy, so he needs to make you happy, this other person, so then you're gonna love him. But this is a very selfish way to love people. And I give you another example that I saw 2 weeks ago actually I saw this on YouTube, and it's a very interesting example. Love people love you love cats like you love cats. So for example, there is a cat in your neighborhood and you really like this cat and you want him to come, so you put your best milk outside your door, and this cat is coming, he's drinking from this milk, but he's going to the neighbor later. So you put your best milk, he still choose to go to the neighbor, but the next day he still comes to you. So basically you're not putting this milk to trap the cat, you just put him to have him hit there from his choice. And if he's choosing different, you still put your best milk, and if he's choose to go, maybe there will be another cat that will come and drink from this milk. I know it's very tough and very difficult to get to that concept of loving people like that. But if you just can maybe even understand a little bit of that, because from understanding that and to do that, there is a gap. I think your life will change for sure. Like, what do you think about like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you're saying, it's almost like love is a currency for a lot of people. If you give me this, then I give you my love. And it's scary to open our hearts. Like, we've been hurt, we've been wounded, and so there's often so much protection and barriers to love. And I think what Shai was getting to is that even in casual encounters, with this awareness, with this transparent communication, that you can access this love, and this opening your heart to another being doesn't mean that, okay, we're getting married and starting a family and there's this big attachment that needs to come with it, but rather it's this authentic heart opening love of being able to really let someone see you, and even let themselves see you through your gaze. It's a very powerful practice, actually, that I began our tantric massage session with, was what's called eye gazing. And maybe we can just do it for just a moment.
Yeah, that will be amazing.
And this is one of the most powerful and simple and accessible tantric practices that you can practice with any of your loved ones. And it's a beautiful introduction in any intimacy partnership with the lover. And sitting, like approximately with your knees touching with the partner. You can choose to hold hands if that feels comfortable. And let's take a moment and close our eyes. And take a deep breath into the heart. And open your gaze. Keeping a soft gaze, meeting your partner's eyes. And the aim is to see the soul in your partner, in this being, looking to see beyond the personality and seeing that divine spark. Letting the masks fall away. Being willing to let yourself be seen.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, I had it like it's part of the process of the tantric massage, and like, I think, like we did it like around 15 minutes, I think, before the tantric massage, and what I felt, I don't know if my followers, all of them, were tripping on something, but when you I felt like I was tripping after that. Like I had uncontrolled laugh that came outside, and I felt like whoa, and like Talia was saying, I felt like at some point I no longer see her eyes or her body. Like I feel like I'm really inside her soul and she's really inside my soul, and it's a very interesting and very unique process that I think like you should do with your partners. And I also think, guys, that, you know, we're talking about a lot of men and women, and I think it's also very important for couples, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you
and
are
beyond
doing
any gender.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you have your retreat that is called Touch of Heart, right?
Yeah, the Art of Touch.
The Art
So
of
this
Touch.
is a group tantra massage retreat. Welcome to singles and couples, where we dive into this full body massage, which includes the genitals in a very respectful and sacred and very specific way. So it's not an erotic massage, but it's really bringing a healing and sacred approach to this modality, and it's such a powerful experience to be touched with this level of intentionality, respect and reverence. And as well, I've witnessed couples that have been together for over 20 years like feel like they've just sparked this love that they never even knew existed. So yeah, I've actually got 2 upcoming retreats, one happening in Tulum in December here in Mexico, and another one in March in Mazunte, Mexico, if you're curious to explore this modality. But yeah, just to wrap up this eye gazing practice, it's such a simple practice that can be practiced like between even just 2 to 3 minutes, and so much can come up. So just allowing, if there's laughter that wants to come up, if it's uncomfortable, breathe into it, or take a moment and close your eyes and come back to the practice. But it is really such a gift of a practice to really connect, and from my experience has been highly transformative.
So basically, if we are going to the topic of this she made me stop watching porn, like to the topic of the title of this video, I can say to you that my life right now, without the porn, without the need to ejaculate, and me basically having this energy inside of me all the time, is something that I have with me forever. I mean, of course I always need to, and even if I choose to ejaculate once in a while, and I believe that once in a while it's okay to do that, right?
Absolutely.
It's even recommended, because this energy is start to expand in your body, and like
It's not just about stopping your ejaculation. There are wonderful tools I really recommend. We can drop it in the comments, but Mantak Chia, he's a Taoist master, and there's a book called Cultivating Male Sexual Energy. There's also one for women, Cultivating Female Sexual Energy, which can really provide you with the proper tools and guidance to begin the practice of circulating your energy, of cultivating your energy. So just wanted to...
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, like, so I think like when everybody will really understand how to, like Talia said, like to play with this energy with their body, I think like also there is an option to, I haven't experienced it yet, but to experience an body orgasm, right? That is
full body energy orgasms. And often in my retreats, people are like, hold on a minute, like, okay, this is sexual because we're working with sexual energy, but it almost feels like it's not sexual because it's not located in the genitals. And this retreat is not about any sort of erotic exchange with a partner. It's really about giving or receiving a massage and directing the energy in a very precise and focused way, which I teach through the demonstrations. So people often awaken to heartgasms, to full body energy orgasms, and with the possibility of touching God, the universe, whatever we want to call it. So it can also be even compared to plant medicine ceremonies. And the way I like to look at it, it's like the medicine is inside of you. So you might be going on an ayahuasca journey or any sort of plant medicine journey, but at the end of the day, there's something so powerful about knowing that there is this energy inside of you that can literally heal lifetimes of trauma, awaken you spiritually, have godlike bliss experiences, and also awaken you to something so much more fulfilling. And what I'm hearing, Shai, about what you're saying with the fact that you stopped watching porn is that something in you awakened to the fact that there's so much more.
Exactly.
The energy started sublimating, right, and rising into awakening higher levels of consciousness within your being. So suddenly it was like this kind of would have left you feeling unfulfilled, and there's so much more to explore and discover through this energy.
Exactly, and I think like the main thing, like, just drink a sip of water.
Aztec cups.
I like this. Yeah, I like these glasses. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. can actually. Yeah, I think like in a way I don't wanna waste this energy anymore. Like for me, it's so suddenly, like before I would just was not able to control because I felt like I all the time try to quit masturbating, but all the time I'm failing and failing, and I'm become like, you know, I cannot let's say keep my promises to myself. And I think like when we are not able to keep our promises to ourselves, it's a little bit even damage our confidence, because I think like the best confidence come from keeping our promises to ourselves. And every time I said, nah, today I'm not gonna do it, and then boom, yeah, I start to watch porn, and then boom, like I'm there again. Or even sex that is not energetically correct with a person that you don't have any connection with, it's just very physical. I mean, yeah, we have this beast primal, like you said, energy that want to hunt, and sometimes it's very curious to do this kind of sex with someone that is, you're not talking to him too much, or there is a lot of mysterious about him. But in the end of the day, when you are doing this connection, this energy exchange, because guys, remember, you need to remember that you, every time you make this liquid, I don't know, exchange, energy exchange, something, if it's not, you don't do it from the right place, something will hit you back. Maybe not the first day, maybe the second day, maybe after a week, but it's gonna hit you in a place, maybe you're not aware of it, but it takes something out of you. So when you become aware of it, you are becoming really careful about who I share this energy with, even if it's casual. So I said, it's okay to do casual, but do it very correct, in a correct way.
Ethical.
Yeah, and suddenly you are not compromised. I think like it's also a very good thing to talk about, you know, compromise, because I think like when you are derived and when your drive is only from your primal sexual, you lower your standards that just to get the dopamine dose of the sex right now. And when it's not there anymore, so compromising is also not there. So okay, I'm not gonna compromise. Like I want to have this connection in that level, to have this casual sex with that person, and if not, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna pass. And I think like you also maybe experience that, or people that you're working like experience those kind of feelings after the retreats or after the tantric massage, right?
Yeah, well, it's like it's difficult to change a habit with the same consciousness that created it in the first place. So when you have one of these shifts in consciousness, this awakening to something greater, then it becomes challenging to go back to that old thing, because it feels empty, right? So having these experiences like tantra massage, or like experiencing a whole 7-day intensive retreat of giving and receiving and of awakening these energies inside of you, suddenly the thought of going back to an explosive orgasm when you just had your heart cracked open to God and have felt like you're making love to the whole universe feels like, okay, there's something more. And that's generally the path that then people really embark on. So a lot of people come to my retreats because they want to learn techniques to please their lovers and to have greater pleasure in orgasms. And although that's part of it, most people leave with something deeper that's awakened within them that they didn't know they were looking for. And I think this is the treasure that is to be found in tantra massage, is that opening into that something more, that's something that we don't quite know what it is, but that we're all longing for. And so instead of having it filled, the quest ignites and it becomes more of an inner journey to find that sense of fulfillment within ourselves, and that reflects in the way that we relate to others.
I want just to a little bit elaborate, guys, on the tantric massage. Basically, and Talia will take it from there. Basically, it's fully naked, but it's not sexual. So like you're not touching your instructor, you're more receiving. Like you want to elaborate a little bit, I mean, about the process of the massage, maybe?
Yeah, and my approach specifically is the sacred, really creating safe and sacred space, and yeah, it's really a healing experience above all. So as the receiver, you're not touching your therapist, or you're not touching the person who's giving. You're really in a state of receptivity and surrender and receiving the touch. So it's a full body massage where we're awakening the body, the energy, really with an attitude of reverence and honor, like imagining you are massaging a god or goddess, and what a gift it is as the giver to even offer this depth of experience, really as a full body honoring. And then the last part of the massage is the genital massage. The lingam is the male genitals in Sanskrit, the ancient Indian language, and yoni is the female genitals. So we refer to it as yoni and lingam. And so this sacred massage is the last part, which is performed not with the intention to give pleasure or reach orgasm, but with very specific techniques to create healing, which can also ignite pleasure and sexual energy, which is beautiful, but with the aim of sublimating this energy inside of yourself to have more of a full body experience versus located pleasure in your genitals. So we're really expanding the energy by relaxing into it. And often people have this automated bodily response that when there's pleasure in your genitals that you contract. And my first invitation for you from a tantric approach is to actually breathe into the sensations, relax into the sensations, and let them actually expand into every cell of your body. If there's no longer a goal or any pleasure orgasm to catch, and I can just explore the sensations, then you give your body an opportunity to really experience this bliss through every cell. And so the next time you're experiencing pleasure with yourself or with a partner, I invite you to, release that goal and breathe and relax into your pleasure.
Wow, that was a beautiful explanation. I really got into it. That was beautiful. And look where we are, guys. I mean, like, this is really the temple that all of it took place. So we are having this beautiful view of the ocean, and this is basically the entrance to Talia's house. That is the temple of where it takes place. And I felt, I can tell you as a man, really safe in that space. And it's very important, I think, to have it with, in my opinion, also, and I think like also Talia will just a second, let me relocate the camera like that. And I think also Talia will agree with me about that. Also women, that is a little bit more invasive, because women are more penetrated than men, are more recommended to go through this process with women and not with men.
I mean, boundaries, integrity as a practitioner is of highest importance. This is such a delicate and sacred work that can easily be re-traumatizing if you're not in the hands of a practitioner that is thoroughly trained and really in their integrity. So I've been doing this work, specifically Tantra massage, for the last 6 years. I've worked with countless men, and in the last 5 years I've really focused in on specializing and going deeper into women's tantric yoni massage. And the experience is definitely different. Receiving from a woman can also remove all of these projections that we may have in regards to a male practitioner. It could be more traumatizing, maybe projecting some of your own wounds, or literally just not feeling safe. Re-traumatizing, past traumas that we've had around like consent and not being touched, or being touched in ways that were not consensual. So I think it's really important when seeking a practitioner to find someone who's highly reputable. And with receiving from a woman, there's just something, it's another flavor. There's safety. It's, I'd say, a more healing approach. And although there can be beautiful orgasms and kundalini awakenings and deep healing and the full spectrum of experience, yeah, receiving from a woman can feel extra safe if you know that you have a traumatic past that might be re-triggered. Then I might recommend to find a woman practitioner in your area.
So I think like I will summarize. I think like we're also getting a little bit. I hope you don't hear it, guys. A little bit of construction noise from there. I hope the camera and the mic is not like copying it. So I think like I will try to summarize more what happened here, like not what happened here, what we just talked about. And so for those of you who still struggling with masturbating, still struggling with porn, like, and you think like it's your fault that you're not able to quit, or you're not able, and every time you try to quit, so you go back to it, it's not your fault, guys. We've been taught in very different ways to approach sex and to approach our body, and like there is a very simple solution for you guys. Like I did it, and I hear living evidence that this is works. It works. It changed my life. My life will never be the same from that point that I got the tantric massage. I received the tantric massage by Talia. And I mean, if you're not in Mexico right now and you're not able to experience it here with Talia in San Agustinillo, where she lives, or the retreat she will make in Tulum, and of course I will publish everything. Like,
We've got other upcoming locations also in Europe and Costa Rica later this year.
so yeah, I will publish the link to Talia Instagram so you can follow her and maybe see the other locations that she's gonna do these retreats, and of course the link for this upcoming retreat, that if one of you is on the way here or wanted to be on the way here to take part in this retreat, so you will have the chance. And yeah, you don't have to struggle anymore, guys. Like, there is a solution that is actually to feel it, not to talk about it, to give theories. That is nice, but in reality, you're still struggling with it, it's not working. So yeah, you can actually feel that you control your sexual energy. It's a very powerful energy, guys. Like, this is the strongest energy that you have in your body. It's not in case that you cannot control it, that is very difficult to control. Not to masturbate, not to watch porn, not to do all these things. And even women, a lot of women cannot control this energy. So think about men that are more driven by this energy of creation. And yeah, I think like Talia, you have something maybe more that you want to add. Like,
Yeah, you're talking about this energy of creation. I guess just one last piece I want to add with our sexual energy, when we understand that it is more powerful than we may believe it to be, and it can be utilized in more than just creating a baby. Yes, we can birth life through our sexual energy, but we can also rebirth our own consciousness. We can also like harness this energy and use it to birth and create projects into the world. And so as we cultivate this energy, learn to harness and direct it, we actually become much more powerful, and we get to birth our creations and the reality which we truly long for.
yeah, I think,
And it's not complicated. It's actually quite simple, and it's just about being willing to continuously show up to it, because we are repatterning pathways that have been sort of engraved, right, again and again and again. Going for this like highway from A to Z to ejaculation might require some patience, but it doesn't have to be difficult. It's just about showing up to these pretty simple practices and just being in it for the journey. And I trust that everything that will be revealed to you along the way will offer you even so much more than what you could possibly imagine.
and I think like in the end of the day, if you take it like to, like you said, to reality, like sexual energy is equal to manifestation, a very strong manifestation. But if you all the time drain it, take it out, you don't have this power in you anymore. You just lose it. So think about, guys, like being around women, very calm. It's something that some men have naturally, but most men don't. And this is why I gave this also data in the beginning of the video about these statistics about men not having sex. It's not supposed to be like that. And if you are in that position today, that you didn't have sex, that, I don't know, sometimes maybe it's because of your religious and you're not allowed to, and it's okay, it's acceptable. I'm not talking about these people. I'm talking about people that are living non-religious life in a way and haven't experienced it, and they are very excited about it. So do something about it, guys. Don't be just in front of your phone, your computer, and think that the solution will come from somewhere. You need to take a step in order to change something. And I think like it worked for me, it will work for any one of you. And maybe another last thing that I want to ask you, like you said that every time that you do this massage, even if it's to another person, to the same person, it will erupt totally different experience from.
Absolutely. Every session, from person to person, even the same person receiving again and again and again, can be so profound. Maybe I can give one quick example.
Yeah, sure.
One client who was coming to see me for several sessions, in one of them, he regressed to being an infant, a baby boy, and going through the wound of circumcision. And he hadn't realized how much that had impacted him, and the wound of betrayal with the feminine, that his mother gave him a way to do this. And I just held him as he cried and moved through these emotions that he didn't even know were inside of him, and he left feeling so liberated, so empowered, with a greater understanding of his relationship to women, and with the empowerment to really heal and to begin anew in his relationship to the feminine, as well as having cleared this from his cellular memory. So this is just one example of like hundreds of sessions that I've held, but just to show you how deep we can go into our bodies, into our memories, into the trauma that our bodies hold, and to clear it away, and how transformational for the rest of our lives that can really be.
Through the sexual energy, that for all of you, I mean, like I think like the most of you, it looks like it's only sex and coming, and that's it, like, and see like where she can actually take it, like to solve traumas with yourself. Like it's basically sounds like ayahuasca ceremony that can happen like in sessions. It's around between like
3 hours.
3 hours, yes, and like sometimes it can be longer, like it depends, like
it's healing, it's transformative, and can be highly blissful. And I believe the sexual aspect of Tantra, which is only about 5 to 10% of the tantric teachings, really offers us the opportunity to also find pleasure within the healing journey. So yes, healing and transformation comes with its challenges, but when we're working with this energy as the ultimate healer, there's also so much beauty, so much expansion, and so much bliss that comes with it. And so you get to have it all.
So guys, I think like we elaborate on it like much more than even I expected, right? Like it was actually we were trying to do that because we didn't know if it's gonna work out like we want, but I think like it worked out really nice, right? Like I think like more than we expected. And Talia, it's her first YouTube video. I'm really pushing her strong, and she will start with YouTube also. So when she will open her YouTube channel, that it will be very soon, I believe, she will publish you more information about this topic that and a lot of other topics that
sex magic, men, women's sexuality, and also tantric intimacy for couples, and just all things related to tantra and sacred sexuality are my greatest passion. And I believe the tools that I have cultivated over all these years can be so supportive to so many individuals. So
I will publish her videos on my community tab at the beginning to really push her and to bring you guys this information that can help you and help Talia to grow her channel. And I think like we're gonna finish this video, guys. I really enjoyed this video, and you will have in the description below everything you need to know about what we were talking about, the book, the retreat, the maybe even the next course that you do for the yoni massage, if there is a place or it's already full booked.
Yeah, we've got 5 more spots also for my women-only tantric yoni massage therapist training. So if you're a woman and you're curious to actually learn how to hold space for other women to heal and transform and just fully alchemize all the deeply entrenched shame that we hold in our bodies and around our sexuality, this retreat is for you.
So yeah, I mean, you can contact her and just get all the details that you need about it. So guys, with that beautiful day here, and actually my last day here in Mexico, I will wish you guys, you are guys, a very beautiful day. I'm sending you a lot of love. I know we're having an experience, we experience a very difficult time right now around the world, especially with my country. And if you didn't see my last video about it, so you can watch it also, about what is my perspective, spiritual perspective on what is going on right now in Israel. And yeah, of course, I see you on the next one. Share this video with people that you think might like this video, or friends that you want to help them. I think like it can help a lot of people because it's very informative video about a very big problem that we have today in the world, that we need to change, we need to heal. So yeah.
Thank you for having me on your channel, Shai.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. And of course, guys, I see you on the next one. Ciao. Bye. Bye. Let me show you the view from here. Yeah.